Hello, everybody. I am Reverend Pete Dalton. The past weeks, days, my heart has been so troubled about what is going on in Sierra Leone. You know, very recently, we all heard about this whole abortion bill that was about to be passed. Before that, it was how to make divorce cases more accessible and easier and easily processed and all that. But we'll leave that for now. So these are my thoughts. With everything going on in Sierra Leone as we know it, terrible electricity, terrible access to water, terrible medical system, terrible education, extremely high cost of living, terrible systems, corruption on the rampage. We have all these major things to worry about. The high mortality rate, mothers losing their babies for things that can be controlled, people dying in hospitals for conditions that can be treated just because there's a terrible system. We don't even have medical malpractice rights, laws to protect citizens in Sierra Leone. And so a doctor can act anyhow, they'll never lose their license. Nurses can act anyhow and they'll never lose their license. We have all of these important things to address in this country. And what we see as priority one is abortion. Abortion. Let us stop calling it abortion. Murder is what we feel like legalizing murder is the most important thing. Just in case you want to argue that abortion is not murder, call it whatever you call it. It's just an embryo, just a fetus. Jeremiah 1:5. God says, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. I had already set you apart and had plans for you, that you're going to be a prophet. So God is saying, even before you enter your mother's stomach, I already have an account of you. So if God already knows you even before you were in your mother's womb, what makes you think a child that is already forming in that mother's womb is lifeless or soulless? Killing that child is murder. Let's take the biblical aspect out. Let's go to the legal. If you kill a pregnant woman, what is the crime? Double homicide. Homicide is killing somebody, isn't it? And so if you kill a pregnant woman, it is called double homicide. Why do we call it double homicide again? What's the standard here? Because you know the child in the mother's womb is a living soul. And so killing the pregnant woman is also killing a child. But nonetheless, you now want to call it abortion and think it's the most important thing that Sierra Leoneans need. This is blood money. The people we have elected and put into parliament that are to think about making laws and putting systems in place to make the livelihood of every Sierra Leonean better, that our lifestyle is better, that our living conditions is improved. These are the men who are now receiving whatever you call it, bribes, to endorse these sinful, abominable things in the name of human rights. Let the human rights start from the fact that that child has no hand in its formation, and so it is innocent. Killing a child is always going to be wrong. Help me complete this sentence. It is okay to kill a child when? When it is a fetus? When it is an embryo? Complete that sentence for me in good conscience and tell me you feel good after saying that. That it is okay to kill a child when it is still whatever you want to call it to justify your murder. We have way more important things than Sierra Leone needs. Let's improve our health. Let's improve our education. Let's improve our infrastructure. Let's make stronger systems as to how we protect our citizens. Better road infrastructures, better housing policies, better price control. that one man cannot monopolize the market and just determine what things will be sold at, or how much how much it's going to cost to rent a house. Let us make stronger policies to protect the citizens. Let us ensure that our citizens are safe and are living better and not fighting to endorse abortion. Because some countries in the West have money to spend on you, and so you now want to enforce a bill that is an agenda of Satan. You and I know what I'm talking about. Call it lobbying, whatever it's called. It is bribery, it is blood money. There is no difference between you in the parliament and the people who are doing money rituals right now. There's no difference between the money ritualists and you, the parliamentarians, for wanting to pass a bill that endorses that children can be legally killed in the name of abortion. Let us wake up, Sierra Leoneans. I'm happy that the church is taking a stand. I'm happy that other people are taking a stand, and we are joining our voices to this, to say this is not what we need. We will never need this. Let us make stronger laws to protect our women from being raped. Let us make stronger laws against medical malpractices. Let us make stronger laws to ensure that young children are not found on the streets. Let us tackle the very thing that causes unwanted pregnancies. But we're there, allowing children in clubs go to Lumley Beach at night. You'd see 10, 12-year-old girls allowed in clubs. Where are the laws that should protect them? Where are the laws that should persecute these clubs, club owners and bar owners, to ensure that children are not allowed in their facilities? Where are the laws to ensure that children do not partake in alcohol? Where are the laws to protect us from kush and tramadol, the importation of it into this country? We have been losing our youth to drugs, tramadol, kush. They are dying. These are more important things that we should set stronger policies about. And we're not fixing them. Somebody is bringing these drugs into this country. Try to catch that. Try to stop the people bringing the drugs into the country. That is a more important thing to do. But our young people are dying, and what you want to fight about is abortion. You know abortion rights has no importance to you, but because there's money behind it, and so you're being paid by the Western world who want to legalize gayism and all of this nonsense, and you're receiving that money, and so that is now a priority to you. Leaving Sierra Leoneans to die and languish. There should be systems to ensure that we don't see girls and children out on the streets after 7 p.m. But go out, 2 a.m., you'd see little girls dressed like older women out in clubs and parading in bars, abused by men. And that is how they get pregnant. And so now your solution is not to prevent that, is to now kill the children that come out of this. I don't care from what the scenario that a child comes from. A child is still a child. A human is just a human. Maybe we should begin to think about, if we're so concerned about unwanted pregnancy, then we should begin to think about aborting unwanted politicians, unwanted leaders, evil and wicked leaders. We should begin to think about aborting them then. Since we have a problem with human lives because maybe they came from rape or something else, it still does not mean they are not human beings. There have been people who were born from a case of unwanted sex and rape, and they've been successful people in society and have been a blessing in society. There is the medical aspect of it, where somebody is sick, where it's in a complicated situation. That there's the medical ethics for that. There are more important things. Sierra Leone is such an expensive joke. That is why we cannot afford to laugh about it. We're such an expensive joke with everything we have going. Let us wake up. Let us wake up. I'm not even talking to government officials, because you've all been bought into the blood sequence and the blood money. So I'm talking to Sierra Leoneans to say we should not allow this to happen. Let us keep protesting. Let us keep standing. Let us keep raising our voices. Let them say what they must. Call it whatever you like. But this is the truth. And this is sinful. It's evil. May God help us all.